Hey folks, this is Dale Davidson, Southwest Georgia, North Florida, here today, 78 degrees and sunny in December. Sport my new winter beard here. Anyway, glad you're here to join us for this video. Today we got a video on trust and what is a trust, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But if you like what we're doing here, like and subscribe and comment also, and we'll be glad to answer your questions. So exactly what is a trust? A lot of people think it's a very complicated document, and it can be. It just really depends. There's all kinds of different trusts. There are trusts that you can change. They're called revocable trust or living trust, and there are trusts that you can't change. Those are irrevocable trusts. A little bit difficult to say. Irrevocable trust. You can't necessarily change those trust documents. And there's all kinds of different reasons why you would want to have a trust. If you have a special needs child, okay, you could leave inheritances for your special needs child. Now, a trust doesn't necessarily have to be a standalone document. You can actually have a trust within your last will and testament. That's called a testamentary trust. Testamentary trust, a trust within your will. You might want to have it for your spouse. You might want to have it for a child who has supplemental needs. You might want to have it for a child who has creditor issues. Whatever those issues are, those things can usually be solved through use of a trust. So we have the testamentary trust. Then we have the trust, the freestanding type of trust, and traditionally those are either the revocable trust, depending on what you're trying to do. And we do a lot of those in states such as Florida because of the probate there. Those avoid probate. That's one of the main reasons why we use the revocable trust or the living trust. They also provide for somebody to step right in and give you some professional or competent management in the event as you the trustee or you the grantor can't handle those assets anymore. You become incapacitated. Then your successor can step right in and then continue to manage those assets for your benefit. Now, the downside with respect to the revocable trust is that if you are looking for some long-term care help, okay, you have to go to skilled nursing, or you're trying to qualify for VA benefits, those assets actually count against you for eligibility rules. For more information on eligibility rules, just leave us a comment or email us, and we'll be glad to answer those for you directly. So then, now let's kind of switch gears if we're talking about more asset protection and qualification for VA in the future, qualification for skilled nursing. We're talking about an irrevocable trust. Let me just demonstrate what a trust is. This is a trust, okay? A trust is nothing more than just a bucket, okay? Now, I'm going to take the lid off. Okay, so I've got my trust here, and I can put different things in here. I can have my cash, okay? I can have a trust within a trust, okay? So I can have all kinds of different assets in here. I can have a house. I can have stocks and bonds. I can have a gun. I can have farmland. I can have equipment. I can have all kinds of things in the trust. Now, what makes a trust irrevocable? Simply put, we put a lid on it, okay? And the lid is basically you saying that you're transferring assets into this trust and you don't retain any power over those assets. That's not saying that you can't have some power over the ultimate disposition of these assets or the power over the trustees. It has to be done in a careful manner, but you can certainly have that. But what happens in a trust you say, I'm giving away all of my assets, and not necessarily all your assets. We were going to work with you to determine what is appropriate, what's an appropriate level of assets that you feel comfortable giving up control. So you give up control of these assets in here. What happens if you need those assets? Well, depending on your situation, we can put a spigot on here. Okay, and the spigot, we can pull out income, and that income can be paid to or for your benefit. Now, there are tax consequences and there are eligibility consequences with that, so this is kind of just a general statement. It may not apply to you. We'll have to look at your individual situation. Likewise, if you need distributions of principal, we kind of have a trap door here that we can get distributions of principal out for you. So we use these irrevocable trusts a lot in our practice to help people become eligible for Medicaid and VA benefits. Now, realize that there are look-back rules to these types of trust and these types of gifts, but there are also exceptions to the rules that we like to use for your benefit. So, kind of a recap of trust. Okay, there are different types of trusts. There are revocable or living trusts. Okay, trusts that you control during your lifetime. The problem with those is that the trust itself those assets are counted against you for eligibility purposes for skilled nursing, Medicaid, okay, and for VA purposes. In other words, they don't give you any kind of asset protection. There are testamentary trusts that you have under your will, and then there are what I call the freestanding trust, okay, the irrevocable type trust that we just discussed. The irrevocable trust, pros to those are it gives you the asset protection that a lot of people are looking for, okay. The cons is that we've got to look at the look-back rules for VA and for Medicaid as far as determining your eligibility. So there are all kinds of trusts, remember. You can put all kinds of things in a trust. In one of our next videos we're going to be doing, you can always do a pet trust for your loved one. With that being said, that's all for us today. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. As always, we'll respond. Like and subscribe so we can continue to bring more videos to you. Even if you have a negative comment, which we hope you don't, we want to know about it so we can make this channel better for you, because we feel that education is a big part of what we do, and if you're not educated, you can't ask the right questions. So in the meantime, be blessed and have a Merry Christmas. Catching bass on an old fishing boat. One more story from Grandpa Joe. Let's get happy before